Hello, I'm Vincent McCory.
And I'm Dimyake Mwakalialia. This is In Focus. Of course, we hope you had a safe and wonderful weekend. We start off first in Sudan. The second day of voting in Sudan is going generally smoother than day one as the country holds its first multi-party election in 24 years.
Confusion during the first of 3 days of voting brought a call by former Southern rebels for a polling extension.
Witnesses say many voters were confused by multiple ballots for president, parliamentary seats, and state and regional offices.
While Sudanese around the world have also voting in the homeland's historic election, viewers Ndiho caught up with some of them at Sudan's Consulate in Washington.
A small number of voters from the Washington area came early to cast their ballots in this historic election. The 3-day election is a key indicator of whether Sudan can fend off renewed conflict and humanitarian crisis as it heads towards a 2011 referendum that could split apart this oil-producing nation and bring independence for the South. The Sudanese ambassador to the United States said that this was a significant milestone in the history of Sudan.
This election is confirming one of the mandates of the CPA, Comprehensive Peace Agreement, that is to hold the election as a fulfillment of the CPA and to prepare for the referendum. I don't think there's going to be so much of a change, but the continuity might be good for the conduct of the referendum.
Mayom Bol Achuk said that this election is a new hope for Sudan.
I think for me it means chances of freedom are coming in the country, and I'm the first person to vote. I think I would say from generation back, not only for myself, and it means that the cause for the suffering for the people of Southern Sudan is coming to an end.
In Sudan, thousands of police were deployed to make sure things go smoothly for the first multi-party election in 24 years. Greeted by supporters shouting Allahu Akbar, President Omar al-Bashir arrived at the poll station in Khartoum to cast his ballot. Analysts say he is expected to win, but this comes as the leading opposition figures accuse him of manipulating the vote. However, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, leading a team of observers, says his foundation hasn't spotted any major irregularities.
We have 30 teams out from the Carter Center in all the states, and so far as I know, they have determined that everything is quiet and orderly, no problem with violence or intimidation, and almost all of our teams have reported that all the materials have been on site at the polling places where they visited in the preliminary stage.
Voters in the South were also excited to be voting for the first time since the deadly North-South Civil War. Meanwhile, in the south of the country, Southern Sudan President Salva Kiir said he was hopeful for the future.
Well, I have never voted in my life. This is my first time to vote. And it is a good beginning that Sudan is going back to democracy. And I hope it will be the foundation for future democracy in our country, so that power is transferred from person to person by peaceful means in a state of military coups. Elsewhere, opposition groups and activists are complained of vote rigging, fueling doubts about the credibility of the election. There were reports of delays, ballot paper mix-ups, and names missing from the voters' lists in some areas of the country. Ndiho, VOA News.